Mike Wang has already told us the truth about shooting, but apparently the 2K community, not only did we not listen, we actually rejected him. We finna get into all the details. If any of you guys are new here, consider dropping a like and a sub. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get to the video.
It's AllCity. Load up that clip.
What's good, y'all? I'm AllCity. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. First off, I want to start this video off by saying, would you guys believe if I told you I spent 14 hours playing NBA 2K25 yesterday? All right, come on, let me have it. I already know all the trolls about to be roasting in the comment section. How dare you play this game for 14 hours straight? I thought you deleted the game. I thought you hated 2K25. Let me have it. Let me hear it. Whether right or wrong, one thing you guys will learn about me here on this platform, here on this channel, is that I'll always be transparent. And the fact is, my relationship with 2K is just like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's high and sometimes it's low. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably having the same relationship with 2K. It just so happened that yesterday it was on a super high and it just kept going up. Pause. There's something that shifted my gameplay dramatically yesterday, and I thought it was really important that I share with you guys. So before we get into the main topic of this video, I want to share a key bit of information that changed my whole experience on 2K25. Have you guys ever noticed your players moving really slow, like way slower than they used to, way slower than when you created the player? Well, I was running the good majority of the time yesterday with the good homie Tron, and he noticed, I got on my point guard, and he noticed that my player was moving dramatically slower than any other point guard out there. You guys are not gonna believe this. We were both scratching our heads wondering if it has something to do with my animations, maybe my dribble styles, but I get a good majority of my animations from AllCity Tron. He's one of the best point guards we have out there. We review all my animations, from shooting animations, dribble pull-ups, to all my dribble animations, and we find out that it's damn near the same as what he gave me once before. But for some reason, my player is noticeably slower than all the other point guards. Even when I'm activating speed boosts, you can tell there's a noticeable difference in speed. I ain't gonna front though, I was still cooking yesterday, even with the slower speed. But let me show y'all something that changed the scope of gameplay for my point guard build. My body type was being changed, and I didn't even realize it was having an effect on my gameplay. And I thought it was really important. If any of you guys play the game as casually as I've been playing NBA 2K25, you guys may have missed this as well. So what Tron ended up noticing why my player is moving slower, he said it has to be your body type. He said, I bet you any amount of money that it's your body type. So we put it to the test. I went into my appearance and I checked my body type. So you go into your appearance, then you go into edit head, and then you'll see at the very bottom, you get to choose your body. So you go in there, and I had stocky on. And for some reason, stocky slowed my player down way more than I was used to. And it was noticeable to everybody else, but I didn't even know 2K did this. And then furthermore, I didn't even know it had an effect on your player to the point that you're moving noticeably slower. So we ended up putting it to the test and we switched it to normal. Night and day difference in regards to how you move on the court. It is not only on offense while you're dribbling the rock, there was a significant difference on how I was moving on defense as well. Just overall, my player was moving way fast. Now, for a lot of you guys, you may be thinking, well, of course, that makes sense. That's common sense. Well, it hasn't been common sense for 2K for the longest time. The only reason for changing your body type in older versions of 2K is that it was like a larger kind of hitbox. Players would use Burley. Lockdowns in particular always made good use of Burley. But one thing that 2K players have complained about for the longest time is that these body types didn't have a significant impact like they should have for years on end. So in NBA 2K25, they actually change your body type without even knowing. And this year they do pose a significant difference on how you move on the court. But 2K has not talked about this at all, at least not that I know of. You guys know of 2K mentioning something about body types and how much of an impact they have on your gameplay? Let me know in the comment section. But you guys know I do this new stuff, and I don't recall 2K mentioning this level of an impact on gameplay. Now, what ended up happening the rest of the night showed that there was a significant difference because I couldn't get off the game. I was like enjoying myself on NBA 2K25, which for some of you guys who've been following me here on the channel, you know that that is just a hard-pressed idea. City enjoying 2K25, absolute insanity. Me being on 2K25 for 14 hours straight, hell nah. Well, it happened yesterday, and I gotta tell y'all, I was having nothing but fun. I think we got off the game like at 3 in the morning or something like that. And I have a feeling that some of you guys may be feeling like I'm being overly dramatic about this change in gameplay, but man, it was difficult for me to play NBA 2K25. I could barely get in an hour or two, and How do I go from that one change and immediately thereafter play 14 hours straight? Anyway, if you guys are having the same problem with like your gameplay speed, maybe try that option. Check your body type and see if 2K changed it on you. If you guys have stocky or burly, it seems like 2K is gonna slow your player down. So if it's your intention to move faster on the court, then I recommend going with something like compact or normal. Trust me, you'll see a difference, especially going from like burly or stocky back down to normal or compact. I know that was pretty long-winded. Salute to everybody who's still here watching. Now we could get into the main topic of this video about Mike Wang been telling us the truth about shooting, but it seems like the 2K community just rejected it. Mike Wang ended up having to make a choice. I don't think the good majority of the 2K community likes the choice that Mike Wang made. We have all learned through gameplay on NBA 2K25 that the game has a ton of RNG. I've been playing the game since the very first 2K ever released on Dreamcast, and I gotta say that NBA 2K25's RNG is way more than I've ever experienced on any 2K in 2K history. It's like they turned up the RNG slider to 1,000. And in my opinion, that's an insult to my intelligence. I think that's an insult to all sports gamers. A lot of the stuff on NBA 2K25 is completely random. And when there's so much RNG in the game, it eliminates competitive gameplay, and it also greatly minimizes the skill gap. Now, if you're a casual player out there, you're like, yeah, that's good stuff. I don't need to focus when I play. But the RNG is so turned up that even casuals aren't fully enjoying themselves on 2K25. As easy as you'll make a shot is as easy as you'll miss a shot. You can make 10 shots in a row one game, miss 10 shots in a row the very next game. Or maybe that'll even happen within the same game, the way you nutsos out there be shooting. I would like to reference this post from Badge Plug. He says, last year, Mike Wang told everyone the truth about shooting and the majority still voted against it. The majority of the 2K community voted against the options that Mike Wang presented us, which I'm gonna show you guys in just a second. Badge Plug says, I begged them to not change it. This is why RNG is so bad on NBA 2K25. Badge Plug sharing two images, and the one on the right says, there is zero reason to buff shooting in anything park related. Zero reason, and I remember that post last year. But Mike Wang, he did explain shooting and he gave us options. He presented the 2K community with two options. Referencing this post from Mike Wang, he says, this is really what it boils down to. If anyone has idea for a better option than these two, I'd love to hear them. Option number one, keep the pure green windows. Now keep in mind, there's a ton of people that try to make the argument that NBA 2K25 has a pure green window. But as Mike Wang presented for option number one, if you keep pure green windows, this means no RNG. Anyway, we'll keep this going, keep that in mind for future reference as well, because that's like a debate within the 2K community. Anyway, Mike Wang goes on to say, which means for the sake of balance, the windows need to be pretty small like they are now so that good players don't shoot 80 to 90% from three. This makes shooting very difficult for casual players, and it's what we're dealing with right now. He's making reference to what folks were dealing with in NBA 2K24. And going back to NBA 2K24, after playing NBA 2K25, shooting just seems way more fluid on NBA 2K24. So the end result ended up being good, at least in my opinion. Some of you guys may feel like shooting was way too easy on 2K24, but I'd rather have that than this randomness that we're getting in NBA 2K25. But anyway, option number two that Mike Wang presented to the 2K community was go back to bigger green windows, which is what we have in NBA 2K25. Go back to bigger green windows that are easier for most people to hit, but cap the excellent timing boost and reintroduce RNG to keep the game balanced. This is how 2K shooting has basically worked for the past 20 years. Now, I'm calling a lot of cap in that second post because I get that there's a certain way, like there's a certain mechanic, the way in which shooting worked for the past 20 years on 2K games. But in previous versions of 2K, at least the RNG was less noticeable. On NBA 2K25, the RNG is smack dab right in your face. And like I mentioned earlier, a lot of the times it's just insulting. Those momentum runs, that momentum algorithm that 2K25 has is just silly at this point. It makes you realize that these games are truly out of your hands. Between our team and our opponents, there's this giant noticeable skill gap, but for some reason 2K25 puts us on the same leveled playing field. The randomness so in our face, we can't even make sense of it. Meanwhile, that momentum shifted and now our 20-point lead has diminished down to a 5-point lead. And this happens game in and game out. Randomly, we start missing. Randomly, the opponent starts hitting. Y'all gonna tell me y'all haven't experienced that on 2K25? Sound off if you experienced anything similar to what I just explained right there. But anyway, I would like to reference this next reply from Albino. He says, pure green window on this 2K would be terrible, to be honest. honest. The contest system is terrible on 2K25. Badge Plug responds saying, I'd rather play a wasteland than a game that determines my user input outcome before it even happens. When I read that comment from Badge Plug, it was like I was hoping there was some sort of applause that would just randomly appear. Maybe there's a crowd of people in front of me just clapping it up. It makes me wonder what type of players could be so easily manipulated into not seeing that NBA 2K25 is a game that determines your user input outcome before it even happens. Before you queue it up on your controller, the outcome of what you're queuing up is already written. Oftentimes that's hard to take in, especially if you're approaching NBA 2K25 from a competitive mind state. And this is what we were talking about in yesterday's video. When you approach it from a more casual and laid back state of mind, if you go into 2K25 knowing that that's the case, then maybe you'll be able to find some enjoyment. Going back to Mike Wang's post where he shared the options for shooting, these options were presented to us in NBA 2K24, but for NBA 2K25, Mike Wang made the decision based on the feedback that the 2K community gave him for NBA 2K24. We didn't know that this level of RNG was going to be so turned up. And it irks me because he actually says we're reintroducing RNG to keep the game balanced, and this is how 2K shooting has basically worked for the past 20 years. NBA 2K25 shooting looks nothing like any 2K we ever experienced in 2K history. And this is the issue that a lot of 2K players have with the dev team, is that they say they're reintroducing something that the 2K community is familiar with, but for some reason it looks like nothing we ever seen before. Why is that, Mike Wang? If you guys had to make a choice, would you like to go back to NBA 2K24 shooting or keep shooting the way it is in NBA 2K25? I'm curious to hear what you think about that. I'm curious to read your thoughts. Y'all be sure to share them in the comment section below. If you're new here, drop a like, drop a sub. I'll catch you on the next video. Easy, y'all. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.